Hi everybody, it's Kim again with Fortunate Creations. This is a channel where we talk about everything to do with crafting. So from amigurumi to weaving and anything in between. If you like crafting and being creative, stick around. You're going to like it here. So I figured I am doing a series where I am breaking down crochet to its basic. Like someone who's just picked up a crochet hook for the first time, what do I do with it? So I've done about 4 videos already. What I'd like to do is help someone that's new to crochet pack the all-important travel crochet pouch. It can be a little box, it can be a little purse, it can be a big purse. However you want to do it, I think I'd like to give you what I feel would be the basics you need for your emergency crochet kit. So, all right, let's get into this and let me show you what I think is must-haves for me. All right, so here is a pile of things that all have to do with crochet and sewing and all sorts of stuff, even knitting, okay? But what I want to do is show you out of this pile of stuff what I pack in my emergency crochet package. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this little thing that came, I actually had bought years ago, a little child's portable sewing machine. The sewing machine, of course, did not work, but I did get a few pretty cool things out of it, and this was one of them. So this is going to be my traveling crochet emergency toolkit. And let me show you what I'm going to put in it. First, let me tell you, if I'm actually working on a big project, I'm going to go ahead and use one of my big project bags. That way I have enough room to put a full skein of yarn and all of the other things that I need. But if I'm just bringing something to where I might be stuck in a waiting room for 20 minutes and I just might want to do something to occupy myself or to practice a stitch, here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a very small ball of yarn. Let's see if it'll fit in there. It will. So a very small ball of yarn. And this is another reason why I save a lot of my yarn scraps. Not only does it fit in my emergency yarn kit, it also will work great for packing material for any of the items that I'm shipping to anybody. Okay, so we have our yarn. Now what's next? We need a crochet hook. We need one that's going to fit in here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this J, which is a 6mm hook, and I'm going to tuck it in there as best I can right in there, okay? Tuck this in here. Now remember, things are going to jiggle around, so I'm going to have plenty of room. And if not, we'll just upgrade to a bigger pouch. Okay, so we're going to need something to cut the yarn. If you do not have a miniature pair of scissors, this will work great. So we're going to tuck this right in here. Okay. I'm going to set this aside for a minute. Okay. Now, what else do I need? Well, obviously, I'm going to need some stitch markers. So I'm going to put in a couple of the basic ones here. One bigger one smaller one, and then I'm going to do one that somebody made for me, which is absolutely adorable. It's a little sheep. Throw that in there. 3 should be plenty. Okay. Now, as we all know, as we're working on our projects, even if it's just practice, you're going to want to sew in your ends, right? So I pack a couple different sizes of the darning needle. Okay, depending on what size project I'm playing around with or practicing with, this has a bigger end than this. And so I pack one of each, and sometimes I might even put one that's a little bit in between both. That way I'm not stranded with the needle that I might need. Okay, what else? Now, at first I did not know what this was. And now I'm wondering, how did I ever survive without it? If you're working in the round, if you're working 15 to 60 layers or rows of the same back and forth, this is a row counter or a stitch counter. I would say it's a row counter because it's going to, if you're doing it for every stitch, you're going to have to make a stitch, stop, turn it. But for every row, I don't know where has this been my whole life? So that's definitely going in my little pouch here. What else? Sometimes my eyes do not like to help me thread a needle, so I'm going to put one of these in to make my life a little bit easier. What else? How about a tape measure? Yes, please. So we're going to put this tape measure right in here, nice and wound up tight. Let me get that tight. I'm one of those people that I love winding things like this. So talks amongst yourself while I get this all wound up because I like to have it nice and neat. Okay, so here we go. Now, I don't know, you could use a stitch marker or whatever to hold this in, but I find that if you just kind of tuck it in the corner, it only opens up a little bit and it's fine. Okay, so we have the basics of what you need in case you're stuck at the doctor's or in the waiting room or in a parking lot or wherever you need to be, and you just want or have the urge to do a little bit of crocheting. This one's a tight fit, so I would probably move it up a little bit to my bigger pouch. But also a good thing to remember when you go to clearance sales or when you go to thrift stores or when you go to next to new shops, look over by the wallets and the purses because they're going to have these perfect little pouches for you just for like this. This thing will fit right in any purse and it's always right there, or stick it in the glove box of your car. There you have it, the emergency kit that you should need just in case you want to crochet when you're stuck in the car or stuck waiting for somebody else. Okay, so I went ahead and I grabbed another pouch. As you can see, it's just a wallet or a makeup kit or whatever it is. It was over at the thrift store, over by all of the wallets and pouches. So I grabbed it. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put all of this stuff. And this even gives me a little extra room if I want to do 2 different sizes of hook. So that, or maybe even 3. You never know, right? And in goes the tape measure and the little shears, the row counter. In goes the stitch marker and the yarn needles. And in goes the threader. And this gives me a little bit more room. Throw in anything else you think you might need. Zip it up, tuck it in your purse, and you can always practice your crochet, practice your stitches, practice the other tutorials I sent you. So here you go, in a nutshell, what you should keep with you at all times, because you never know when you're going to want to crochet. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember, always be creative. Have a great day. I will see you next time.